As I said,
I also know that.
Let me finish. The word used, okay, is neighbor.
Right.
Okay. Technically speaking,
Under Sharia, I'm not your neighbor.
Bear with me. Bear with me. Within the Islamic Empire, look, it took 500 years in Syria, in the Levant, for there to be a majority Muslim population after the introduction of Islam. Now, if you're telling me the way the Hadith scholars have interpreted the term neighbor to mean other than only Muslim, is again showing your lack of sincerity.
No,
you, as a Christian, living with me in Damascus, as next door to me, you are still classing my neighbor.
No, one, I would be under, what do they call it? Jizya. Yeah, I would be under jizya. Like, and honestly,
are you still my neighbor?
I couldn't have this conversation if I was living in an Islamic majority country.
Don't change the subject. Are you still my neighbor?
No, because that is important. You are not using the definition used by Islamic scholars.
Are you still my
because
neighbor?
I am not part of the
That
Ummah.
was not my question.
That means I'm not.
That was not my question. The question was...
No, because you're using a different definition than is actually used by the scholars.
Straw man argument.
That's not a straw man argument. That is not a straw man argument. That is not a straw man argument. I'm sorry, you're trying to redefine
Josh, no, you're trying to redefine.
No, I know enough about Sharia to understand what the Ummah is.
Behave yourself, Josh. Realize what you're saying.
Because I'm not part of
Josh,
the Ummah.
take the hatred out of your heart.
Because I'm not part of the Ummah. I am not considered your neighbor.
I never said that.
I'm saying that because I know that that's a common historical
I will
definition.
rephrase. I will again say it. A Muslim who sleeps with his stomach full, whilst his neighbor's stomach is not full, he's not one of us.
Am I one of you?
Now,
am I part of the Ummah?
Now.
No question. Am I part of the Ummah?
Allow me to finish. Now.
It's a pretty simple question.
The classical, not Josh's.
Yeah.
The classical understanding of Islamic scholarship throughout, without deviation, is the term neighbor could mean them being Muslim, Jew, Christian, or atheist.
That is not true.
That is true.
That is not true.
Now, Josh.
No, that's not true.
I would rather.
Straight up, that is not true.
Bear with me.
No, because I am under a different legal standard than you because I'm not part of the Ummah. This is always legality.
Josh, another straw man argument.
This whole conversation right now started with me asking you what is the wisdom in Islam, and now this is you yelling at me.
Another straw man argument.
If I talked with a Buddhist, I'd have an actual conversation. If I talk with a Taoist, I have an actual conversation.
Another straw man argument.
No, I'm not telling you what you believe. I asked where is the wisdom literature in Islam. I asked where the wisdom literature is. And now you're in a conversation with me trying to redefine what neighbor is.
I would rather take the understanding of Imam Nawawi, hadith scholar, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, one of the greatest hadith scholars, on the understanding of the term neighbor than Josh on the 29th or wherever you are in July 2022, with all due respect, with your cowboy hat. Okay? I would rather take the understanding.
This is Cuban.
Yeah, and this is what?
Air Max.
Right, thank you. So, with all due respect, I'm going to take these two great scholars' understanding of the term neighbor and what it entails and the persons it entails rather than yours.
Okay, so why am I under the jizya?
No, you're not. Before we answer,
I'm not right now, but I should be, right?
Do you concede the
No.
Before we answer the question about jizya,
you concede. I don't
no, don't go there.
Here's the thing. I want to go back to my original question.
You can.
No, I want to go back to my original question.
Can we get a clarification from you?
No, because
Of course you can.
Honestly,
Of course
I
you
would
should.
like to go back to my original question.
Sure, but can we have just one clarification from you?
No more clarifications. I
Do
want to go back
you know
to my
what this
original
clarification
question.
is on?
No.
It's on what you said.
I want to go back to my original question.
Okay, so
This is
let's
not a
leave
hard
that. Let's
concept
leave
to
that.
grasp.
Fine.
I'm asking for
What
the
is your original
wisdom.
question?
What is the wisdom? So in other religions, you have wisdom literature, right? You have books devoted to teaching someone ethics, morality, wisdom, right? And when I'm saying these things, this is not a hard-coded system of law like Sharia, right? So in Buddhism, you have a set of concepts that guides how you interact in daily life, right? They don't have specific rules. They talk about right actions, right thinking, right speaking, right? And I can say this, like I am not a Buddhist in any way, right? I'm someone who does, no, I do comparative religious studies, right?
No, what is your belief?
I'm a Christian.
Christian.
So, Buddhism has what you would call an ethical base, right? It has a system of ethics that it teaches. Taoism, by the same token, you have this idea of being in congruence with the Tao, right? So they have an ethical base that guides them without hard system of laws, right? Confucianism gets more into like how to build a society, but it also gets back to the ethical base. Zen has an ethical base. Hinduism has an ethical base. Even sects of Christianity I don't believe in, right? Roman Catholicism, they have an ethical base, right? Philosophy, Hermeticism has an ethical base. As much as like some of these other religions, as skewed as their ethics may be, for example, Satanists, they have an ethical base. It's horrible, but they do have one, right? It's just horribly wrong. As far as I've seen in studying Islam, I've read the Quran, I've read the Hadiths, I've studied some of Sharia, I've started reading Reliance of the Traveler. My question is, where is this literature in Islam? And literally, I'm not asking as a guiding question or an aggressive question. I'm literally asking so I can find it and go read it. Because this is the one thing, every time I ask a Muslim about this is basically what happens.
Sure. What's your name?
Josh.
Josh. So what do ethical literature do to people? They teach people ethics.
Right.
And morality.
Right.
Right? Okay. When you read the Quran, did you find the ethical and moral principles enshrined within the Quranic verses, or have you missed them?
That's the thing. I really don't see them enshrined.
So you missed them.
So no. Because the basic idea with Sharia and the beliefs of Islam.
We're not talking about Sharia. I'm just talking about the Quran. Let's focus on the Quranic text.
Because I'm talking.
Josh, let's just focus on the Quranic text.
Yeah, I'm basically.
As you read the Quran, let's make it simple, Josh.
I am speaking about practical morality, right? That's why I wanted to.
Me precisely speaking the same thing. So when you read the Quranic text, did you really miss those ethical and moral principles enshrined within the Quran, throughout the Quran?
And this is what I'm going straight back to. When we're talking about ethics, right? Ethics is not laws. So there are laws in the
Am
Quran.
I talking about law?
Yes.
What did I say? Did I say ethics and moral principles?
Yes.
So why are you strawmanning me?
What ethics are presented in the Quran?
No, remember just what I'm saying. I said I'm giving as a surprise.
Can you give me an
before I give you a specific example, I asked you with a surprise. Have you missed? You studied the Quran. Studying means you actually read it with a scope of understanding it, not just simply reading it superficially. And you missed the ethical and moral principles.
I didn't miss. Okay, so let's assume I missed it.
So now, give me an example of anything about ethics and morality outside Islam, and see whether the Quran doesn't talk about it. Give me an example.
Right, I've talked about Buddhism and
not religion. Give me an example of ethics or a principle of morality.
But I've given
moral.
You that. So can you give me an example of ethics in the Quran?
No,
do you know what I mean?
What do you consider as your ethics?
Give me, for example, backbiting. Is that a legal thing or something about moral things? About whether you backbite is a moral thing or not?
Right. So what is the ethical basis for not backbiting?
Before you say ethical basis,
right?
When we talk about don't backbite or it's okay to backbite, is this linked with morality and ethics?
This is what I'm getting at. Ethics are the engine behind law, right? So when
did you understand my question?
Yes, I did.
What is my question?
So when you say don't backbite, right? That's a command.
No.
Yes.
Backbiting.
Yes.
No, backbiting on its own. Backbiting.
Yes.
So not about do's and don'ts. Backbiting.
Right.
So backbiting is an action of the heart, of the limbs, of the tongue. Wait.
What
Josh,
makes backbiting
wait.
wrong?
Wait, Josh.
Wait.
Josh.
I'm
explaining.
No, I'm going to cut through all this.
But I'm explaining to you.
Yeah, you're not.
Hang on, Josh.
Real quick, right?
You need to have a conversation rather than a monologue.
My question is, what makes backbiting wrong?
Okay, let me tell you first of all. Backbiting is an action of the tongue and of the heart. So that means, is it linked with your morality and ethics? Is it part of morality and ethics? Is it a subject in morality and ethics?
I asked a really specific question. Right?
I am going to first establish, is backbiting included within the topic or subject of morality and ethics? Or is it part of law?
Okay.
Do you have an English law about backbiting?
Allow me to
Josh,
actually talk about this, right?
Josh.
So there's a difference between ethics and morality, right? There's two different words.
Yes.
Right? So morality is driven by ethics. So I'm not saying that the Quran doesn't have a system of morality. I'm asking where is the system of ethics.
Okay.
They're different
so in
things.
backbiting, does it have the foundation in ethics?
So
I'm asking. Either you say I do know or I don't know.
No. This is actually the problem I'm going at, right? Because there are laws in the Quran.
I'm not talking about laws.
Right. Yeah. No.
Why are you strawmanning my argument?
No, I'm not. I'm not strawmanning.
So talk about backbiting.
So yes, I am talking.
Backbiting. Is it rooted in the foundation of ethics?
This is my basic question. Is it rooted in ethics?
I'm asking you.
No, because that's my question.
Do you know?
If it says
Okay,
in the
he's
law-
asking
no,
you.
I'm asking you.
No.
No, I'm
your
asking
opinion.
So let me explain.
to
Let me explain.
the people
All right.
who study ethics,
Right.
is it part of ethics?
So this is my
Not you.
explanation, right?
Okay.
So let me go through this.
Go ahead.
Because understanding the difference between morality and ethics is important for this conversation, right?
Okay.
If I was to...
What is ethics? Explain first of all.
Like I said, ethics is basically the engine behind morality.
No,
It's
that's
why
not-
morals are
What
morals.
is it ethics?
This guy's jumping.
That I just said that.
No, it doesn't make sense to me. What is an ethic? What
I
is
don't care if
ethics?
it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to
You're
you,
not
that's
giving-
Look,
deficiency on
a
your
You're not giving
definition
an
must make
answer.
sense. What is an ethic? What is ethics?
It is the engine behind morality. It's why things are
what
wrong and
is
right.
it ethics?
ethics?
It's why things are wrong and right.
Why things are wrong
Why?
and right.
Yes.
Finally. So from what you are saying, let's
Right.
take that for granted. Ethics is about why things are right or wrong.
Well, hold up. Because you keep
Or,
on
have I
positing...
misrepresented you?
Yeah, you keep on positing situations of what, right? The Quran has what.
I didn't say about what.
No, I'm
You
saying
said
about
why,
what.
didn't you?
I'm saying about yes. And this,
Right.
That's
So
why
do
I'm
we
talking-
agree in
No,
your understanding, ethics is about
is
why
why-
things are right or wrong?
And this is why I keep on bringing this back up, because I'm talking about the difference between morality and ethics.
I'm not talking about morality now, I'm talking about
Yes,
ethics.
I am talking about morality right now.
So when I want to talk about morality, you drive me to ethics.
no.
Let's deal
'Cause
with
it's-
the ethics
No.
and then
hold
move
up,
on.
Hold up. Because we need to establish this.
Josh.
The why is what I'm asking. The what is what the Quran has.
Hang on,
I'm not
before
asking
you-
about-
before you
No,
give me
no,
your
no.
misinterpretation of the
I'm not
Quran-
asking about the what. I'm asking about the why, the ethical basis.
Sure.
That is my
So
question.
do you agree?
So that's what I
Do you
want.
agree? Ethics, as you said, ethics is about. Do you want to just check the dictionary definition? Ethics is about why things are right or wrong.
Yes.
Right.
I said that.
Good. Agree so far?
Okay.
Okay. Let's take that definition for granted. Why things are wrong.
Okay.
Backbiting. Backbiting is a part of ethics. Does ethics cover that?
Does it? That's the question.
I'm asking you.
No, and
You're
that's-
the one who studied.
Yeah. That's actually the pertinent part of it, because
I'm asking you. Either you know, you don't know. Which one is it?
Because when we're talking about ethics, right? Is backbiting covered in Buddhism? Yes.
I'm not talking about Buddhism.
No. This is important when we're talking about ethics, because ethics is a science, right? So if you were talking about Buddhism, that is covered under the ethical system of Buddhism, right? Buddhists don't so much have laws, so it's not necessarily covered by a moral teaching. It's covered in their ethical system, right? These are two separate things.
You've explained that three
Yes,
times already.
I've explained that, and apparently I
Yeah.
have to do it again.
Why? Why?
No.
Because you keep on it. My
Why?
question is about.
Did
the
I misunderstand you
ethical
first time?
system, right? So I'm not questioning whether or not backbiting.
Why
is
are you
wrong.
taking your interlocutor like dumb? Why?
I mean, I've had to explain it a couple times. So
No, I
that's
didn't even
not my
ask
fault.
you for explanation. I understood the first
No,
time.
I've had to give one.
You know, you keep repeating yourself as if like you don't understand yourself.
I'm not trying to repeat myself. I just have to keep
No.
on
You
bridging back
keep
to
on
the same
repeating
topic.
because you don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I know exactly
So
what
now
I'm
let's go back again.
The problem, I'm thinking that the problem
Look,
is
listen.
that you know
Josh,
there's not an ethical
Josh,
system in Islam.
No. Don't jump the gun and put your misunderstanding,
I'm
right?
not really jumping the gun.
Okay,
We've been
Josh.
here for like 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes? You even have a very misunderstanding of time as well in terms of how much time has gone. 30 minutes.
Do you even understand
Listen,
what
okay, brother, let's
backbiting is?
Backbiting. What is backbiting?
Does the Quran has a book on ethics? Or
The Quran incorporates ethics and morality within its teachings.
Right, where?
So
Just
wait.
Quote me the ethical teachings. That's all I need.
I'm
It's
trying
simple. Just quote
to.
the
I'm
Quran.
trying to help you with this, but you seem to not getting it. So the reason why you're not getting it is because you're not engaging with me. So let me ask you again.
Okay.
When we talk about invention of a camera, is that covered in ethics or is that covered in science?
So that is actually a relevant question in ethics, right? Because there is an ethical system that leads to the inventions of things like that. Because when you're studying ethics, you are studying the very foundation of the course of history. Right?
Excellent. So even the invention of the camera,
Right.
ethics
There is basically
has a
ethics
role to
behind
play in terms of whether it's okay to invent a camera or not.
No, not okay. That's a what, right?
Sorry?
That's a what.
Explain
We're-
again.
So we're
Oh,
going
no.
back to
What
it is
does
semantics.
what does
Just because
brother?
it's semantics doesn't mean it's irrelevant.
What does ethics have to do with inventing a camera? Explain again.
An ethical system gives someone the impetus by which to have the ideas to have a camera, right? Like under communist systems, right?
You're not giving the definition.
I am. So
What was the definition? What makes it right or wrong? So now tell me within that framework, inventing a camera is that about right or
again,
wrong?
morals are what?
I'm not talking about
Ethics
morals.
are why. The why is
Why
important.
are you talking to yourself? We said ethics is about
don't know.
why.
Apparently I find it entertaining.
Josh.
Because I've had it.
We
keep on
said,
coming back to the same point.
Josh, you said.
Ethics and morals are different.
You said.
Yes.
Ethics is about why things are right or why
Right.
things are wrong.
Yeah.
Inventing a camera means it could be why this is right, why this is wrong. Is that what you're saying? It's covered in ethics.
That's not quite what I'm saying. So when you have an ethical system, right, it's like, what do you prize?
Tell me about the camera.
Hold up.
Does ethics cover that? Inventing
So
a camera.
for example, well, it kind of does.
Like
But-
what? How?
And that's what I'm trying to explain.
Okay,
So
we're
in
gonna all
different-
listen now and
right,
see whether we
in
understand it.
different ethical systems, right? Like in America, we value freedom of speech, right? It's like we don't have speaker's corner because every place is speaker's corner, right? So we value freedom of speech. That's within our ethics. And because we value freedom of speech, right, we have basically the consequences of that ethical system. So we have essentially a moral system, a system of social norms, where you can't just tell people to shut up, right? We have a system of social norms where it's like, even if this person has a perspective that I massively disagree with, it's like I have to let them have that, right? We're very anti-censorship as a moral system because of our ethical system of valuing freedom of speech. This is the difference between ethics and values, right? So in communist systems, like when you see their ethical system, right, they value censorship because their ideas are bad, and the way bad ideas survive is that they have to have censorship, right? They have to stop criticism. So in a communist society, they don't have the ethic of freedom of speech, right? And that erodes their value of human freedom, and that erodes their value of human life, right? Because you basically have a system that, by its ethical system,
Bring the mic. No. Your microphone.
Carry on, I'm listening.
okay. So in the ethical system of communism, right, it is driving down everyone's quality of life, and it's driving down people's ability to innovate, right? This is actually a thing in the Soviet Union. Like there was a guy, the Gulag Archipelago talks about this. It relates this story. So there was a guy who was the main plumber in Moscow, right? Tried telling someone like he was the specialist in his field, absolutely the top-notch guy, knew everything about it, been working it for decades. Told someone all the pipes are about to bust, and if you don't fix them right now and spend this much money on it, this is non-negotiable, like the city is going to fall apart, right? So they sent him to a gulag, because that type of honesty and that type of productivity is actually not valued in the ethical system of communism. They just want censorship, right? They want someone to tell them things are all right? So they put someone in that guy's place, and told Stalin everything was okay, and then everything would fall apart, so they sent that guy down, right? So this is the ethical system of communism playing out, right? The laws are the moral system. So the act of actually sending the guy to the gulag, that's the moral system. But the ethical system behind it of being okay with lying, right? That is the problem there. That creates a moral system outside of it. So that's why I'm asking about the ethical system.
Now answer my question. All this background information was irrelevant.
empty
Answer my
vessel.
question.
It's an empty vessel.
What was your question? Can you please restate?
Oh my goodness me.
Do you not remember my question?
No, I've been on a spiel for like 5 minutes now.
Because you've been just doing what? Answering a question I never asked.
He went from
Yes.
Brixton to Peckham Rye
Yeah.
via Edinburgh.
Yeah. So now here, I talked to you about how does inventing this camera
Okay,
become
yeah, I
a
just answered that question.
subject of ethics.
Yeah, I just answered that question.
And ethics was to deal with why something is right or wrong.
Right. So the ethical system, like someone that values invention, right? So like in America, we like capitalism, right?
Are you going to explain
So-
again for another 5 minutes?
Yeah, apparently.
No.
So
be concise.
No.
If you haven't learned about concision or conciseness in speech, this is the time to
well,
actually
I'm
demonstrate
sorry I have
that.
to keep on re-educating
No,
you
no.
on this,
It's
but
not
apparently
educating
I
it.
do.
I'm educating you
So-
how to be concise. So demonstrate
I'm
yourself.
sorry,
You know how to
you're
summarize
really
your
not
statement
educating me
in
on
1
ethics.
minute. Go on.
So,
Summarize your
because
statement in
there is
1
an
minute.
ethic- because there is an
Otherwise,
ethical
I can
because there is an
teach you that
ethical
if
system.
you don't know that.
I very much doubt your ability to teach at this point. So there's an ethical system, especially on ethics, man. This is so ridiculous. Like,
Did you study ethics in university?
No. Why do I need to? Like, one of us can actually competently talk about ethics and the other one can't.
Why
You've been
did you
avoiding
need
the
to
question this
learn-
entire
You ask him,
time.
what's his Christian ethic? I want to know that. What's Christian ethics?
Okay, so let's go back again. Ethics even covers inventing a camera. Does it cover backbiting?
So again, how does it cover a camera, right?
You explained. Don't have to
Yes.
explain again.
Let-
So does it cover
forget the
backbiting?
camera. Go
So,
back to
and again-
backbiting.
No, I don't want you to tell me about
Yeah.
camera. I've listened
No,
to you
no.
for 5 minutes of.
All right. So again,
Your
the
speech.
question is, why is backbiting bad?
No,
I'm not
asking
questioning whether
about.
or not it
I'm
is.
not asking about why this is bad inventing. You explain
No.
why camera
I
inventing
explained,
camera.
yes, by
Josh,
an ethical system, it generates
in an
cameras.
ethical system,
Yeah.
whether you invent camera or not, it's covered. Backbiting. Does it get covered in ethics?
Does it?
I'm asking you, Josh.
Right.
You are the ones
No, no.
who are in the
But
teaching.
I've been asking you for the ethical basis of your belief
No,
system.
no. I am going to give you. I want to know whether you understand ethics first of all.
Clearly I do.
Right.
'Cause I've been
Is
talking about it for
backbiting
quite a
part of
bit.
ethics?
You should know
you've been
that.
No.
talking,
So
doesn't
what
mean you
makes
understand.
backbiting non-ethical?
No, you're not answering this question.
Did you hear
That
my
is the
question,
question.
Josh?
No, because you are asking
Is
a moral
ethics
question.
covered in backbiting?
You are asking
backbiting covered in ethics?
You are asking a moral question. You're not asking an ethical question. An ethical question is why is backbiting?
Look, I am going to ask you again. Backbiting, I didn't say backbiting is okay or not okay, because ethics covers it why something is right or why something is wrong.
Why?
So,
Yes.
so if somebody says backbiting is okay, I'm going to ask you why is it okay?
Yes.
If somebody says backbiting is wrong, I'm going to ask why is it wrong?
Yes.
So now, does ethics cover backbiting as a subject?
Ethics can cover.
Can cover.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Not necessary.
Well done.
Right,
It took
right.
so long for
But
you
it
to
doesn't
grasp at
necessary-
that.
Are you a politician?
Good.
No,
It
you're
took so
not.
long
Okay,
to grasp
don't
that.
It
talk
took so long
No,
for me
no.
to grasp
Well
that. I've had
done.
to explain this
well
4
done.
times
No,
to
no.
you.
Well, you kept repeating yourself.
Yes,
So well
because I
done.
had to.
No, well done for grasping it so long. It took you so long to grasp it.
I'm sorry.
Good.
I have a much higher
Okay.
command of the
Excuse me.
subject than
Is
you.
backbiting part of ethics?
Yes.
Yes. How long did it take him?
He's
Less than a
wrong.
second.
Less than a second.
He's wrong.
Oh, now you're telling me he's wrong.
All right, then,
Okay.
all right then. Here's a question for you. Slander, is that part of ethics?
What is it ethical? Is the question?
No.
No, it's a part of ethics.
Slander.
No.
Part of
Is it
ethics.
part
No,
of ethics?
that is
That's
a
ethics.
moral question. So whether or not slander is
No
wrong is a
wonder. No
moral
wonder.
question.
Sometimes we
The
find
question
very
is
difficult to
why
speak.
it's wrong.
Listen.
You can't
If,
conflate the two.
if the Quran talks about why slander is wrong, is it covered in ethics or morality?
If it's talking about why, that is an ethical statement.
Do I have to repeat myself? I just told you.
Right.
If
so I have been questioning what is
listen,
just quote an ethical
Josh,
statement
Josh,
from the Quran.
Josh, if
The fact that it's taking you this long
Josh,
to quote an ethical
Josh,
statement from the Quran
stay-
is kind of
stay away
underlining my
about-
hypothesis
stay away
that there
from
isn't one.
stay away from personal.
This takes like 5
right?
seconds. I can
Listen,
go to a Buddhist and
now,
get an ethical statement in a minute.
If the Quran talks about why slander is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
would that be covered in ethics?
That would be an ethical statement, yes.
Right.
Which is what I've been asking for.
Right. So do you know why Quran considers slander is wrong?
I've been asking for that.
Do
Please
you
tell
know
me.
why?
Please tell me.
Do you have you read it?
Please tell me. Yes.
Okay, he doesn't know.
Show me the ayah where you've read about slander.
Okay, no, I'm asking you, why is it
You've read
why is
it.
it wrong?
You've read it.
And my take from it
You've
is that
read
it
it.
lacks an ethical basis. And my take from it is that it lacks an ethical basis. This is actually, Al-Ghazali talks about this because he basically has to
In
deny...
which book?
Because he basically has
Which
to
book?
because he basically has to deny
which book?
reality
In which
to
book?
make the system work.
In which book?
He denies objective morality.
In which book?
He says that Allah, in order to be all-powerful, could command evil
In which book?
and make it good.
which
Because
book?
he needs to be
In
all-powerful.
which book?
Well, question, is all-powerful...
How many times have I asked this question? Loads of times.
What it
Which
looks
book?
like is
Which
that he's
book?
learned the name of
Which
a
book?
scholar, Al-Ghazali.
Thank you, brother. Which
Right.
book?
Am I wrong?
Which book?
Am I wrong?
Which book?
Am I wrong?
Josh,
Am I wrong?
I'm going to depart, leaving that discussion from a
Well,
clown.
you kind of need
a
to
clown,
because
a
I'm
clown.
proving you wrong.
I don't speak to clowns, so I'm going to ask you one final time, and I apologize for calling you a
I
clown.
might be a clown.
I
but it's the
apologize for
Lord's
calling him a
circus,
clown.
all right?
Which book have you read?
I'm asking if I'm wrong.
Thank you very much. There you go, my brothers. Save
So
your
that
batteries.
is
Save your
fairly
batteries
good proof
from speaking to
that I am
clowns.
correct,
There
and
you
all you
go.
have is slander.